welcome to our closeout reception for our one of our youth employment programs, our graduate trainee program. This is our fourth cohort of graduate trainees, and I want to say that we had some interesting times with this cohort of graduate trainees, but they did well. They did so well over the 10 weeks. There were some that it took us a minute to place you because you were very specific about where you wanted to work. And we wanted to make sure that we were giving you the experience that matched with your degree programs. Some of you have received employment offers, which we are so happy about. And I want to say thank you to all of you for participating in the program fully. This isn't just a program where we just place them in a row. These are graduates. They've spent 4 years studying, paying a lot of money to ensure that they get their degrees. And we wanted to make sure that the experience that they received was in alignment with what they were studying. In addition to that, we also took them through some employability skills, because sometimes our young people have all the book smarts, but they may not have all the tools that they need in order to work and how to integrate themselves into the workplace. So I hope that the additional skills that you learned on those Monday morning sessions were used. We learned how to communicate well. We learned about our personality types through our DISC assessment. We learned about how to work across different generations of people, because we work in multi-generational workplaces now. So there was a lot that you guys learned, and I hope that all of the information you've gained was useful and that it will take you on your track to success in the future. And always remember that all the people that supported you over the course of this program, we're still here to support you in whatever it is that you need. So we have persons who are going to be moving fully into a full-time career. We also have someone who is transitioning into an apprenticeship, which is great and amazing with the company that they were working with. And so this is it was an amazing opportunity for you all, and I'm so glad that you took the time to really immerse yourself in the learning and the training that you were given. And again, remember that myself, the career development team, the training team are all here to support you. And one of your biggest supporters, who I'm about to introduce, is our minister, Jason Hayward. He is a huge proponent of ensuring that our young people have all the tools and the training that they need so that they can be successful. And I'm happy, and I hope that the minister has been happy with our performance with the program, as we've tried to enhance the program over the years, do some different things to make sure that we get it right. And so at this time, I would like to invite Miss Tiana Mullen, Turner Gift, Sage Mean, and Ms. Busby up to speak quickly about your experience that you've had during the 10 weeks. So Ms. Mullen's right in front of me, so I'm going to let her come.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Tiana Mullen. I have recently just finished my apprenticeship, and I am grateful to have been selected to speak tonight. I went to the University of South Wales to study forensic investigations with hopes of becoming a crime scene investigator. Throughout my studies, I struggled to find scholarship, placements, and internships, and this continued once I graduated. It's extremely hard for recent graduates to come back to Bermuda and go straight into full-time employment, where places require a lot of practical experience that may not be offered by your course. I knew it would be hard to get into the forensic unit due to the job being so confidential and because there weren't any positions being available in the unit. Members within the forensic unit were aware of me and my qualifications and were eager to get me in, but unfortunately it wasn't up to them, so it just became a waiting game. When I came across the graduate trainee program, I knew if I was selected, it would be a foot in the door for me. After being selected for the program, it still wasn't easy, as I couldn't just get placed in there due to confidentiality. I had actually been asked to come in for an interview at the Bermuda hospital to work in the lab, which I went to, but afterwards I realized that it just wasn't for me. I wanted to be in the field as a crime scene investigator. Ms. Durham and Ms. Clark let me know that they would keep trying to get me placed with the forensic unit, and they applauded me for not settling for a position I wouldn't be happy in. To my surprise, with the help from the workforce development and the members of staff within the FSU, they decided to take a chance with me and give me 10 weeks worth of experience, but couldn't ensure that I would be offered a full-time position at the end. From the start of my employment, my supervisor, Sergeant Hayward, wanted to throw me in the deep end, going out to as many crime scenes as possible, and even being put on call so that I could gain as much experience as possible, which I am extremely grateful for because I was actually getting the practical experience I missed out on in university due to COVID. Aside from my practical placement, we were introduced to Mrs. Phillips, who ran workshops for us in the program, covering topics such as business etiquette and networking. These were extremely helpful in understanding what is expected in the workplace. Overall, the graduate program has made me want to be a crime scene investigator even more. Like I mentioned earlier, there was no guarantee that I would be offered full-time employment at the end, but thanks to Mr. Hayward and the program, I am moving in a positive direction to being employed full-time. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I would first like to express my gratitude to the dedicated individuals at the Department of Workforce Development who played a role in creating the graduate trainee program. This program has been influential in opening new paths for young adults, easing their transition from university to the professional workspace. My name is Sage Ming. I am a recent computer science graduate from Clark Atlanta University. The past 10 weeks within this program have been nothing short of exceptional. The various courses and seminars have not only equipped me with valuable skills, but have also prepared me for interviews and the day-to-day workings of an office environment. My journey led me right here to Connect Tech Coding, where I have previously entered in 2022 through the Technology Leadership Forum. A year after my engagement with TLF, I cautiously re-entered Connect Tech, only to find myself now fully embracing and valuing this unfolding opportunity. Connect Tech has proven to be more than just a workplace. It's a vibrant and supportive community. From day one, I was embraced as a part of the team. Starting as an assistant, learning to teach Scratch, an entry-level block coding language. Along the way, I acquired new skills such as curriculum development, classroom management, engineering basics, 3D printing and modeling. Working with the leadership and team at Connect Tech has instilled in me the importance of aiming high, carrying oneself with pride, never settling for mediocrity, and how to use my mom voice. Transitioning from graduate trainee to a junior coding instructor, I have found a second home. The organization's commitment to education, community, and collaboration has propelled my growth beyond expectations. Once again, I extend my sincere appreciation for this enriching experience and my new home at Connect Tech Coding.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tanya Gift, and just so you know, I have my notes on my phone, so I'm not being unprofessional. Okay. So I just want to start off by saying that I'm very honored to have been chosen along with a few of my other cohort members to partake in a brief overview of our experience. I just want to start by thanking Workforce Development for accepting me into this graduate training program. I graduated from St. Francis Xavier University with a health degree, and when I got accepted into the program, I was working as a front desk receptionist for a hotel. I was anxious to start the program, and when the idea of fulfilling my placement in a physiotherapy clinic was provided to me, I said sure right away. My time spent between in-touch therapy and our weekly meetings with Workforce Development was very eye-opening for me. I learned so much more than I thought I would, and I met so many smart, cool, and passionate individuals along the way. My 10 weeks at the physiotherapy clinic were well spent and helped me see the different aspects of the way healthcare is delivered and provided for Bermudians. Once again, I just want to say thank you for allowing me to partake in the program, and I hope that I've made you guys as proud as you've made me wiser. So, especially the financial literacy one. Thanks.
See, so many different things to learn aside from the career choice that you have. We're given life skills as well. So you've heard from our young people and their experience. We're now going to hear from some of our employers who took on these young people. So I would like to invite Detective Sergeant Jewel Hayward to the podium.
First of all, by starting, I joined the police service in 1985, straight out of Berkeley, where I've been there again in my 40th year in law enforcement. I've been in forensics for going on 28 years now. At the present time, the department has a notable gap in our permanent staff as we currently rely heavily on temporary, contracted, and consultant personnel. This reliance poses a significant risk as the departure or contractor expiration of these staff members leaves us vulnerable to critical workforce gaps. There is methods to go to civilianization, but however, the wheels of bureaucracy can be understandably slow, and that's been preached since I've been there since 1996. And to mitigate this, I strongly advocate for the engagement of a junior FSO officer, such as Tiana. This strategy is not just a temporary fix. It represents a sustainable investment in cultivating local talent. In particular, it offers a long-term solution to our staffing challenges by focusing on nurturing young Bermudians as we establish a robust pipeline of skilled professionals ready to step into roles as needed. Furthermore, this approach is cost-effective. Junior staff, such as the proposed engagement, command lower initial salaries. Yet, as they grow in expertise and experience, their increasing contributions significantly enhance the value they bring to our service. This investment in young Bermudians is not only a financial decision, but a commitment to developing a skilled, knowledgeable workforce capable of delivering quality forensic support service to our community. In line with this, I'm hoping Tiana Mullen is given that full-time position. She embodies the drive and initiative that we seek from my 10 weeks with her. It is imperative that we provide opportunities for young Bermudians who have invested in their education abroad by enabling them to return and meaningfully contribute to their country. Okay, Tiana came with me most of the time. She was with my other senior CSIs. And when I mean by senior, everybody in the office has at least 15 years experience or more. As I stated, I'm 29 years. The majority of Tiana's cases thus far were fingerprinting, stolen cycles and stuff, and she actually got an ident, which means that she found someone's prints on the bike, and that possibly may be a court appearance. I would have liked to have had her to do more other types of volume crimes, such as burglaries and thefts. More frequent application of these types of crime scenes would enhance her fingerprinting and photography experience even more. She's far off from doing any major crime scenes where there are serious injuries, serious scenes where there are unexplained deaths, and scenes where there is violence. Quite glad that didn't happen when she was there, but she needs a lot more exposure to that to increase her experience. Because in these scenes, forensic officers sometimes have to provide opinion evidence, which equates to having more field experience in these types of crimes. She would benefit from just an initial course to just enhance what she's been taught in her degree program. And I feel with her commitment, because we at least need 3 to 5 years commitment to carry it right out so that she can start working and being on call by herself after 5 years. So it's a process that I would like, to have started, and for this to be a continual process from the workforce development, so that it's a pool of graduates that I can have a look at and see where we can go and deal with what's in Bermuda instead of importing labor all the time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'd like to invite Mrs. Sloan Johnson from Connect Tech to talk about her experience with her 2 young people.
Good evening, everybody. First, I'd like to welcome you to Connect Tech Coding. I know for quite a few people it's your first time coming. Don't let it be your last. When I was first approached about taking students from the graduate trainee program, I have to admit I was very apprehensive. When I was sent a couple of resumes, some of the students whose names came across my desk we had already had interactions with before that we weren't sure we wanted to revisit. But then I said, you know what? Everyone deserves a second chance. So we interviewed, and one of those applicants was successful. That was Sage. She came in, I have to admit, she told me not to put her business out there, you guys, but you know how it goes. We had a rocky start, but over the course of the 10 weeks, we watched Sage grow and grow and grow. She told me that she wanted to be a technology educator. Her first week here, I dropped her in the deep end of the pool with a student who needed extra attention. At the end of the week, I said, do you still want to be a technology educator? She said yes, and I said, all right, well, we're gonna make that happen. At the end of Sage's 10 weeks, we worked with the Department of Workforce Development, and she has now transitioned with us into an apprenticeship post. At the end of her apprenticeship, our goal is to hire her full-time as one of our coding instructors. She's out in the primary schools teaching the kids. She's running her own class during our in-house camps, and the students and teachers absolutely love her. She is finding her mom voice, because Sage talks like this, very quietly. And the kids don't listen, so she has learned to find her inner mom voice. Then I got a second call and said, listen, we have another student who still has yet to be placed. Iyani Franklin Smith came to us. She studied marketing and communications in school. Like many of the students had mentioned, it's really difficult to come back home and find a job when you don't have a portfolio or you don't have experience gained through your program in school. So she would have had a really hard time going out just regularly into the workforce to find a job. Over the few weeks that she's been with us, she's developed a marketing and social media plan. She has implemented that plan. She is creating graphics and doing things to make herself marketable to any organization that she's willing to interview for once she leaves us. We are preparing her and making sure that she is ready to step out into the workforce at the end of her 10 weeks. So I do want to thank the Department of Workforce Development for giving us this opportunity, and hopefully we can continue to participate in this program in the future. And for all of the other employers out there, I would advise you to have a look at the programs that the Department of Workforce Development is offering, because our students are in these programs because they are looking for opportunities to come home and work. I'm going to say that again, to come home and work. Because they can find opportunities overseas, but we want them to come home. So again, thank you very, very much for everything that you guys are doing in the workforce development.
Good evening, everybody. I am not a public speaker. I must say this straight off the bat. I don't like it. Just see, I don't like public speaking. My name is Shamika Ingham. I am the medical social worker at PALS. As some of you may know or may not know, PALS is the Cancer Palliative Home Care Facility for cancer patients who would like to either end their life at home, or we transition patients straight through from finding out that they have cancer. I had the pleasure of having Shakila come and be with us. So she's been actually out in the field with the nurses, going on the home visits, interacting with clients, seeing what it is that they may need socially in terms of finances for overseas, for medication, for hotels, for the Balco bills needing to be paid. She's been doing financial assessments. She has been doing a bit of everything, which I don't think she realized how much PALS actually does. She's learned a lot. She's a quick learner. She retains information exceptionally well. And I would just like to say thank you for allowing her to be a part of our team. And we look forward to partnering to hopefully have a nurse come on board in the summer or the next cohort. Thanks.
Thank you very much. These programs don't work unless we have the support of employers and other stakeholders. So at this time, I'd like to say thank you to all of you who have taken on a student. For those of you who were skeptical but still gave us an opportunity to prove that the program works and that our young people are prepared and giving them the opportunity and that foot in the door that they're looking for when they come back from university. At this time, I would like to invite our minister, the Honorable Jason Hayward, to say a few words.
Good evening, everyone. Certainly, I want to begin by congratulating our graduates of the program for their hard work and dedication. I want to thank the team from the Department of Workforce Development for their commitment to this program and the administration of the program. And last but not least, I want to thank our employer partners who without you, this program would not be a success. This government is committed to the development of our young persons. A few years ago, we received a report from a labor force survey that said that youth unemployment was at 33% in Bermuda. We recognized that that simply wasn't acceptable. It meant that we had to put a concerted effort forward to ensure that we create pathways and opportunities for young persons to get employed. And so we developed the Youth Employment Strategy. And the Youth Employment Strategy was specifically designed to connect our young persons with jobs, to ensure that we provide the necessary support that's needed so that our young persons can actually thrive in the world of work. If we look at our current labor force survey results, youth unemployment is just over 11%. That is a remarkable drop from where we began at that 33%. And that is because of programs like this, where we have focused concentration on the young people of Bermuda. I am pleased and humbled by the testimonies of our young persons that actually can speak to the impact that this program has made on their life. I'm pleased with the reports from the employers who actually said that based off of this program, they were able to see value in a young person that they typically would not have allowed in the door. That's actually awesome. What we recognize is that our young people were coming back from school with a degree but didn't have the work experience as articulated earlier. But then we also knew that it was difficult to connect young persons with jobs just based off of how entry-level jobs are given out in Bermuda. If you don't know, entry-level jobs in Bermuda are given out based off of who's in your network. So you network your way into employment. And many times, persons are not in the same circle as the occupational category that they desire, so they're unable to network their way in. Well, the Department of Workforce Development, this graduate training program, creates a direct bridge to employment. We always say it's easy to get people in the door, but once those young persons get in the door, it's up to them to show their employer that they can produce the value that is required to make that organization succeed. And I'm glad we have testimonies where persons are either being considered or have found full-time employment. I heard the great story in terms of the police force, and that is not just a great story, it's actually groundbreaking because this has never been done before. And so I hope that this opens up the doors for others as well. I heard the great story in terms of the person who was in Carigenics is the correct? Carrigenetics. And now the team that they're leading in terms of a pilot program for cancer research and study. That's awesome. These stories are the stories that we need to continue to promote, the positive aspects of what the Department of Workforce Development and the government is doing to support our young persons. This is one of many programs. But this program ultimately is designed to better position our young people to take advantage of job opportunities that may exist in the future. Not everybody will get placed in this particular round, but right now you now have a direct relationship with the Department of Workforce Development so that when they're making referrals, you're automatically on that referral list. We will continue to invest in some employment programs. We will continue to invest in the youth employment strategy programs. We will run further cohorts of this graduate training program, and we will continue to have a concerted effort in terms of increasing not just the competency of our young people, but the skill sets that are required for them to succeed in the workplace, some of the core skills. Many times we're able to connect young people with jobs, and just based off of lack of having some of the soft skills, they're unable to maintain employment in those particular areas. I listened to someone talk about the apprehension that she had in terms of when she saw names. But that's the typical apprehension that most employers have when it comes to young persons. And so I am pleased and extremely proud that this program continues to produce the outputs that we had designed and set this program out to achieve. We will continue with programs such as these. We will continue to execute on our youth employment strategy along with other strategies that we have within the Department of Workforce Development. Again, congratulations to the persons who participated in this program. This is only one small step in your ultimate employment journey, and so you take this opportunity and you take what you've learned and apply it to the world of work that you see yourself succeeding in. Again, I want to thank the employers that are here, because without you, this would not be possible. And last but not least, the Department of Workforce Development, who done an awesome job in facilitating this. Thank you.
At this time, we're going to be presenting you with your completion, certificates of completion. So as I call your name, if you could come up and receive your certificate from the minister. So, Ms. Lightbourne. Mr. Brandon Johnson. Ms. Kalisha Pearman. Kalisha was at the Bermuda Hospitals Board in the Information Technology Department. Iyani Franklin Smith. Iyani was here at Connectech in Marketing and Communications. Ms. Bertram Busby, who was at Carrigenetics. And Ms. Bertram Busby is also a recipient of scholarship from Workforce Development. So she's one of our scholarship recipients. She's one of our summer employment program. So she is moving through all of our programs on her way to success. So thank you. Sage Ming. Shakila Ming. Shakila was another one who was very specific about where she wanted to work.
I'm at Pulse and I will be at MWI.
Yes, she's getting 2 experiences. Ms. Tiana Mullen. And Ms. Tanya Gift, who was at In Touch Therapy. Okay. Now, at this time, I would like to, they don't know that this is happening, but I would like to invite all of the Department of Workforce Development team to the front, please, who are here this evening. Brian and Jermaine. Well, Jermaine, you don't work for the Department of Workforce Development? Mr. Pascal, are you here? He's out the front. Out the front? Okay, that's fine. This team of individuals, this is not all of them. However, Ms. Nicole Durham joined us in November? October last year as a career development officer on a temporary leave basis, and she came in and this was her first assignment to pull together the graduate program. So we, Ms. Clark and I had started it, but we said, okay, we have someone who's experienced, we will pass it on, and she has done a phenomenal job of ensuring as the lead career development officer on this program. So I wanted to take this time to say thank you very much for all that you did for the program. Ms. Jody Virgil has only been with us not even a month, but she definitely has been thrown into the deep end with all of our youth employment programs, as well as Ms. Janine Todd, who wasn't able to be with us this evening, but I wanted to say thank you for your hard work over the last few weeks. And Ms. Jakira is a graduate of the Graduate Trainee Program. She is now working as a temporary leave admin assistant with the career development team. And we're wishing her good luck as she has made application to be full-time with the Department of Workforce Development. So we're wishing her all the best. And we also have Mr. Jermaine Davis, who thinks that he's in the background, but if it wasn't for him, a lot of stuff wouldn't happen, because he is our IT system support, and he is the one who makes sure the job board runs and makes sure that all of our computers are running. So in the midst of this program, we had a little hiccup with technology that everybody knows about that we're not going to talk about. But he made sure that we were able to get everything all sorted. And for those who are not here, Dr. Peets, also Mr. Pascal, who is out the front, and our newly appointed career development manager, Ms. Sonia Clark, and all the others at Workforce Development. I, as director, would like to say thank you very much, because you guys work really hard. People don't see all the work, the calling, the advocacy that happens for our young people and our clients, convincing employers to take a chance and to also hold our young people accountable so that they are getting all the training and the learning that they need. So I'd like to take this time again to say thank you very much for all that you do. So thank you. And that concludes our program for this evening. Again, thank you so much for not only supporting this program. Hopefully, employers, you will also sign up to take on summer students. We will have high school students and college-age students, and we really, really would like to partner with you again to give opportunities to our young people. You see the fruits of the labor that we put into all of this, so please, when Workforce Development comes calling for support for our programs, please just say yes and put your hand up. And if you know any other employers who are on the fence, please advocate for them to also participate, because that's the only way that we can ensure the success of our youth.